Soledad, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us to tell us a little bit more about the track that you teach in here at UCR, which is psychology. And I'm just kind of curious to learn what kind of courses are on offer within the psychology track.
Well, the psychology track offers like a variety of courses within the field of psychology, but also related to subfields of psychology. So we have, of course, Introduction to Psychology, where students will learn like the basic concepts and theories and the history of psychology. And then they can choose from a variety of courses, for example, social psychology, where they learn how we feel, we behave, how we think in the presence of others, or like intergroup conflict and prejudice, etc. Then we also offer the course Organizational Psychology. It's a total of 8 courses in the track. Organizational psychology is one of them, but they also, for example, we offer courses in psychology of learning and performance that is more related to educational psychology. And we have also several courses related to the clinical area of psychology. For example, abnormal psychology, when the students will be able to learn about mental disorders, the classification systems like the DSM-5, the possible treatments, etc. Then we also teach the course Developmental Psychology, where we can learn about how we become unique individuals throughout the lifespan, childhood, adolescence, adulthood, and older age, and all the factors related to that process. Then one of the courses that I'm also teaching is Psychoagnostics and Psychotherapists, and that is a very practical course where students will not only learn about the process of psychodiagnostics, but they also develop skills in psychological assessments and psychotherapy.
So it seems like there's a wide variety of different disciplines covered within our psychology track here.
Yeah, actually it is. It covers like main subfields within the discipline, like social, organizational, educational, and clinical psychology.
So students can really find their own niche within psychology by trying all the different fields.
Yeah, they can find where their interests are, they can explore their curiosity, and also combine the different perspectives that gives you a broad perspective to understand the same phenomenon. So it's a very interesting choice that they have.
Yeah, I can imagine, and it's great to see that growth, of course, for you as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so now that's obviously the broad idea behind the psychology track, with all the different disciplines and students being able to combine and compare and contrast. Now, if you're looking at the courses, what can students expect in the learning experience, just in terms of, assignments and practical experience that they might be getting?
Well, here at UCR we have a very interactive method of teaching, and the small-scale groups allow a very intensive interaction and discussion, and we stimulate active participation of students. So that also allows us to know the learning process of each student and provide feedback and support and see what their interests are, and that makes it more personalized, and it's something that I also enjoy doing in my classes. But for example, I can tell you in my courses that I'm teaching in the clinical area of psychology, we learn, of course, the concepts and the theories, for example, in psychodiagnostic, the test and the reliability and validity of the test and all the main theories. But they also, in the assignments, for example, they learn the administration of tests, scoring, the interpretation of the results, the integration of the data, and they develop skills that are also very important for a career in psychology, not only the knowledge, but also developing skills. There's one, for example, one assignment that I work with like a fictitious case study. So we have a patient referred by a professional with specific referral questions, and I provide all the tests already administered, like intelligent test, personality test, like self-report, projective test, transcriptional interview, and students will have all that assessment package, and they have to do the interpretation, the integration of the data, and write an actual psychological report for the referral source. So they develop skills, and they can also have an overview of the whole process, not only reading about it and know what it is, but actually working and applying those concepts.
can imagine that is something that students will really enjoy doing as well.
Yeah, I think so, because it's not only learning, but also like hands-on and have an idea what actually work of psychology is. So when they have to make decisions about a career, they can say, this is something I really like and it's my interest, or no, this is not for me at all.
Yeah. And that of course happens within the psychology track, but it's not exclusively within the psychology track that students take courses. So what do you think, or what do you see are common combinations with maybe other disciplines outside of psychology that students make to make their choices for their careers?
Well, there are many, because a program like we offer at UCR, the possibilities are endless and unique. I can mention some that I can recall now. For example, students taking the psychoagnostic course, they also combine the interest in psychology with, for example, law, and they apply for master programs in forensic psychology.
Right.
That also implies psychological assessment. Or students combining their interest in economy and psychology and studying master programs related to economical behavior, for example. Also with medicine, within medicine, also medical and health psychology, and this combination is very interesting, and it gives them, for example, skills when they have to interact with the patients and understand the whole context of the situation, and it can be a very broad and integrity perspective that they can achieve.
Yeah, as said before, it seems like they have so many opportunities in taking psychology courses, so I can imagine that in your classes the discussions are also really interesting if you have these students from all these different perspectives joining in on the conversations.
Yeah, definitely, because it's always a rich conversation. We have students from different countries with different cultures, different perspectives, different interests, choosing different majors. So, for example, we work on a case study of one patient, and we can see from completely different perspectives, like the legal perspective, sociological perspective, even literature, and writing reports, and this kind of approaches that it gives like a unique discussion in every group.
Yeah, it sounds absolutely great. And I don't know if you know, but looking sort of ahead for students, what are some of the career opportunities or the master's degrees that students enroll in? Like, what comes after a bachelor degrees focusing on psychology here at UCR?
Well, the possibilities are a lot, because like we mentioned in the beginning, we have social, organizational psychology, educational, and clinical psychology. Mm-hmm. For example, in clinical psychology is one of the most chosen subfields. You have masters in psychology, but for example, another common combination that we see here at UCR is with cognitive science. Mm-hmm. So, for example, they also pursue a master in neuropsychology, for example. But also an interesting thing is that it's not only about research master, but also applied masters within the area of psychology, or social, gender studies, organizational.
Right. So it seems like doing a psychology degree within liberal arts here at UCR keeps the doors open.
Yeah.
It prepares, theoretically, it prepares for the skills, but then there's this whole range of different things that might come after for students.
Yeah, definitely. And within the field of psychology, a broad perspective and the possibility of analyze the phenomena from different points of view and from different levels of analysis, it's a unique ability that they can develop here. Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a really unique opportunity for students, I would say. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise and sort of, showcasing what a psychology focus in liberal arts at UCR might be like.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
Sure.